So here we have a wonderful example of a very linear trace, but the thing that's really unique about this motion is that this young lady hits all of the spots pretty much in the norm range of a tour player. She's actually an ex-European tour player, but there's some really good learning here. So at address, she's 56-44, kind of what we see as a starting position. And then as the club comes back, you'll see right as she pulls it back, a little bit of pushes off the lead leg, which is what good players do, and now she starts to shift her pressure towards the trail leg. And then when we get to about where the lead arm is parallel to the ground, you can see her pressure, max pressure, shifted about 90% to the trail leg. She's about 50-50 heel to toe on the trail leg, which is very good. And then as she gets to the top, you'll start to see her arms are actually still going up, but she's already now shifting her pressure into the lead leg, which is what great players do. That's how they produce a lot of lag. The club is still moving backwards as the lower body is moving forwards. And now she does a beautiful job. She's got that linear motion, and then she gets all her pressure into that lead leg, and then she starts to rotate through, and that is a really good trace. Very consistent, very clean, gets a lot of pressure into that trail heel. And what's interesting is she gets a pressure out a little bit and then back in on the lead foot. It's like a really nice, very clean trace. Not much noise there in the body moving in towards the ball. It's very consistent. A really efficient way to use the ground to generate force. So again, so the high points here we really need to focus on is pushing off of the lead leg to start. The club hasn't reached the top, but the maximum pressure is already in the trail leg, and the lower body starts to fire first and is moving towards the target as the club is still moving backwards. That produces a lot of lag in the swing, and now she gets that pressure onto the lead leg. And what's really interesting here too is if you go to the velocity chart, what's wonderful is you can see here at the peak velocity, that's when the lateral ends right here, and now the rotation starts, and they sync up beautifully. The graph and the video is a fantastic example of a very efficient CoP trace. This is a great one to watch, a really good one to learn from, and if you want to be very efficient with the ground, this would be one to follow.